Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again. Got a story for you here today of an ex-wife who abandons her family, but it backfires. And now, of course, she is begging to be taken back by her husband. Usually, women oftentimes leave because they found another man, they think they can do better, whatever. But I think in this case, it is a little bit different. So let's jump into it. These two are 34 and 33. This guy says, before everything blew up, our life was simple, steady, honestly kind of nice. My ex-wife, who was 33, and I were 34, were high school sweethearts. We married young and built a decent life from the ground up. We were not rich, but we owned a modest home in a good district. We took a beach trip every summer and we made things work. She was a registered nurse, working 12-hour shifts 3 days a week, and I managed logistics for a warehouse, which gave us a stable, predictable schedule. Okay, so we have the nurse wife. They were sweethearts, which is, by the way, these guys are doing decently, right? They own a house. A lot of people still have that mortgage out, still paying a ridiculous amount of money. But if they own their house in a good district, I would say they're doing pretty damn well. House prices are ridiculous at the moment. So he has a nurse wife working 12-hour shifts. And guys, I have heard very negative things about nurses, very, very negative things indeed. So we'll see how this works out. He says, we had 2 kids, a daughter 8 and a son who was 5, and we both shared parenting responsibilities pretty evenly, or so I thought. Looking back, the issues were already there. She had been withdrawn, talking about how she felt like she was missing out, how she wanted more out of life. I figured it was just burnout or stress, and I tried to be there for her. I never imagined what was coming. This is a huge, huge problem for the marriage, by the way, guys. So we have a wife here who's talking about how she feels like she was missing out, or she is missing out, and how she wants more out of life. Translation: she didn't want to be a mother, or at least not yet. She wished she had more time, and she wanted to go and screw around with other dudes first. She wanted to see what other men were available. And this is crazy, right? Because this is coming from somebody who is a mother. And usually this is a precursor to them, as the story suggests, just abandoning the family altogether. Because, a lot of the times the women, they get this itch to return to the streets, especially if they've never experienced the streets before. And of course, this is not good for the marriage whatsoever. A lot of these women end up leaving because they want to feel happy, and then they just completely destroy their families. Which, by the way, guys, if women want to be for the streets, fine. I don't care, okay? But probably not a good idea to get married or have a serious relationship if you're looking to go around and hook up and go back out there because you want to experience things. Out of nowhere, he says she gets this job offer, a shiny new position at some flashy medical tech startup based in a major city 2 states over. They offered her nearly double her current salary with potential for stock options, whatever that means, and flexible hours. It sounded too good to be true. I told her to think it through carefully. Her excitement turned into an obsession. It's all she talked about for a week. Then one night she dropped it and she said, I want to take the job and I think we need to separate. He says, I was stunned, not angry, just paralyzed. I asked her what that meant for the kids. She said she'd leave them with me for now so she could quote unquote get settled, but I knew what that meant. She was gone. No cheating that I was aware of, no knockdown fights, no huge betrayals, just her chasing a dream that didn't include us. You see, I think that this woman was actually probably more excited just to leave this guy's ass and then go and have fun with other dudes, because that sounds to me like what she's chasing, right? We have a wife here of a very long period of time, high school sweethearts, nurse, and she wants to experience more out of life. Again, all very light language to describe the fact that she wants to go and hook up with other dudes. And so she uses this job as the opportunity to, to do that. So this guy is sitting here thinking, oh, well, it's about the job, But really, the job is probably like 20% of the reason why she wants to go, and the other 80% is her wanting to experience life, as it were. Translation is other dudes. So within 3 weeks, the papers were served. She said she didn't want to drag things out and wanted a quote-unquote clean break. We didn't have many assets to divide, and she didn't even ask for custody. It was like she was pressing a big red reset button on her life. I was left holding the pieces, trying to hold down my job, manage daycare, homework, bedtime stories, and explain to 2 heartbroken kids why their mother didn't live here anymore. Our daughter cried herself to sleep for weeks. Our son kept asking if she was still a mother. It was a nightmare, but I kept showing up for them every damn day. This is incredibly sad, guys. So this woman essentially just dips on the whole family, dips on the husband, high school sweetheart, leaves the kids, and also she can return to chat and have her fun. I would argue, guys, that she was probably cheating during this time. It's not just, oh, she wanted to go and experience life. She probably got a little bit of a taste for it. She probably cheated during the marriage, and she's like, screw this, I don't want to be here anymore. I just want to go spend my time with other dudes doing whatever it is I want to do. He says she barely checked in, maybe a text or two, a few photos on Instagram of her in a new apartment sipping wine captioned with new beginnings or CEO energy. Holy hell, that is disgustingly cringe. CEO energy, okay. He says, it stung not because I wanted her back, but because it felt like we never existed. She had started dating again too. I only found out because our daughter saw a photo of her with some guy and asked if that was her new dad. I didn't even know how to respond to that. So the daughter is picking up on photos of her with other dudes. That is crazy. Exactly 3 months after the divorce finalized, he gets a call at 11:37 p.m. I almost didn't answer, but something told me to pick up. She was crying, sobbing on the phone, could barely get a sentence out. Turns out the startup was a complete mess. Turns out the amazing salary was mostly promises and bonuses tied to performance metrics that never materialized. Then the company got hit with a fraud investigation. She hadn't been paid in weeks, and now the entire thing collapsed overnight. She had no job. She had no job, no savings, and had been cut off from the new guy after he realized that she was broken spiraling. So this dude even ditched her as well. I would say that the man probably ditched her not because she was making no money, but probably because he didn't actually want anything long-term and serious. For the most part, men generally don't give a damn about the money that women make. But a lot of these guys that these women hook up with and cheat with and want that life with, these guys are never serious. And it's very damn funny because the women never realize, they never understand this. He says she finally managed to get the words out. I made the biggest mistake of my life. I want to come home. I miss you. I miss our babies, she said. I just didn't think it would end like this. And he says, all I could think was you left us. You gave up your family for a paycheck and a fantasy. I told her she could come visit the kids and nothing more. She asked again, just let me come home for a while. I don't have anyone else. I told her I was sorry she was in that situation, but she made her choice. I wasn't going to unravel everything I'd done to hold things together just because her shiny new life didn't work out, and she hung up in tears. This dude is under no obligation to take this woman back. Again, guys, I call this bookmarking when a woman thinks that she just deserves that place in your life because she's been there before. But when a woman leaves you and abandons you and your family, it essentially is just her saying, I think that I can do better than you. It's just a gamble, a bet that she thinks that she can do better than you, and she's quite confident in that gamble, and so she leaves. I don't think men are obliged to take women back who do this, not at all. In fact, I think it's a very bad idea to take these women back. Your life is probably going to be a lot worse if you take her back, because we already know what's going to happen, right? You take a woman like this back, guys, I guarantee you she'll be cheating on you within like a week. Or at the very least within 2 weeks. Easy done, she'll be cheating on you again. She will not, put it this way, she'll probably be cheating the moment she steps in the door because she'll never stop messaging the other dudes who she got as orbiters while she was screwing around doing Lord knows what. He says, since then, I've let her visit the kids every other weekend. I kept it civil for their sake. They've slowly started warming up to her again, though our daughter still asks why she left. He says, I've been seeing a therapist, and honestly, I'm proud of where I'm at now. I've become a better father, more present, more patient. I've learned how to cook more than just frozen pizza, and bedtime stories are now my favorite part of the day. I still have bad days, but I'm doing better. He says, would I take her back? Absolutely not. He said there was a time when he might have considered it, maybe 3 months ago, he probably would have taken her back, but now after seeing how quickly she bailed, how little regard she had for the life we built. Not a chance. I totally agree with this guy. I don't think you should have ever considered taking her back. This is disgusting. She essentially just dipped because she thought she could have that city girl lifestyle, hook up with some dudes, make some easy money. Turns out she completely failed. She's broke. She's essentially homeless, has to go find another job and somewhere else to live. And so she's screwed, which is totally hilarious, and I feel no empathy for this woman whatsoever. But guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. If you've ever been in a similar situation or you've seen someone go through a similar situation, make sure you let us know down below. Make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.